Hello, welcome to my video, and today we're going to be discussing the Nimbus dripping atomizer. And this Nimbus clone, it appears to be very good quality. I like the way it's made. It's got a good weight to it. It's stainless steel. It has a removable 510 drip tip. And let me see if I can get this cover off. There you go. Looks to be very well made. This particular one already has pre-made coils in it, and I'm not gonna take the time in this video to redo the coils. I'll probably rebuild some down the road. I just wanted to take a look at this and give my opinion of it. Looking at it right off the bat, one thing I've noticed is this coil here is touching the deck. So what I'm going to do is just raise it up a little bit to where it's not sitting on the bottom there. Don't want the coils to where they're touching that deck. You want your wick touching the deck, but you don't want the actual coil itself doing that. So this is my first dripping atomizer. Well, in a way, actually dripping specific. I've dripped into cartomizers before, but I've never actually had a true dripping atomizer, and I've really liked this Nimbus, and I thought I'd get me one and try it out. And so I'm just going to do a little review for you. This particular Nimbus utilizes Allen head screws, and it comes with a little hex key here for when you do your builds. Now this one here in the center is going to be your positive, your hot connection. It's coming up from this center screw here, and of course these are going to be your grounds. Now I usually don't do dual coils, but with this one I'm going to go ahead and try it. I've already checked the resistance on these to make sure everything was okay, and I was showing right at 2.4 ohms on this factory build. So and if you look right there, you'll see that one coil, not only was it touching the bottom, but it's actually leaning up against that post. So I'm gonna sort of get it away from that post if I can. There we go. And just make sure these are tight. You don't want to tighten these down too tight, because you will end up cutting your Canthal wire in half. So you don't want it too tight. You just want it snug. Excuse me. What else? I think what I'm going to do with this one, I'm not a fan of the hex nut or hex bolts, Allen head, whatever you want to call them. I think what I'm going to do is I'll take one of these out, and we have a bolt, nut and bolt supply house. I'm going to go in, I'm just going to get some stainless steel screws for those, because these right here look like they're regular steel, and eventually you'll probably end up developing rust on those. So just to have something that's a little easier to work with, to where I don't have to keep track of this little Allen key. If I go with Phillips head stainless steel screws, then I can, all of my other Addies are going to have Phillips head screws, so I'll just need a Phillips screwdriver. I don't need all of this specialized stuff. Well, what else can I say about this particular Addy? I took some dry hits on it, and it's a little tight. If you like a tight draw, then I think this only has one 1mm hole. So for me, it's almost a little too tight. Technically, since this has two coils, you know, in a perfect world, you'd have one hole on one side and one hole on the other, and then when you put them on, you'd have one hole over here by this coil and one hole on the opposite side for the other coil. But this particular Addy only has the one hole. So even if I put another hole on the opposite side, it would come right through the logo that they have here. And I mean, that's sort of crappy, but I mean, that's what's going to have to be done. I'm probably going to open up this hole a little bit on my drill press and go straight through it and come out probably right here in the center of the logo. What the manufacturer probably should have done was, you know, they spent the money to put the logo there. They should have came through the side with the hole, and then, you know, since they're only putting one hole, then the consumer, which is us, could put the, you know, if you wanted more of a loose draw, then you could put another hole on the opposite side and it wouldn't affect the logo. But the way it is now, in order to get this hole lined up, you know, it needs to come through the other side in order to have it line up with the coils. So that's probably something I'll do tomorrow. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to go ahead and put a little cappuccino e-liquid on here and give it a second to soak in. And then I'm going to put the cap, well, I'll wait on the cap. We'll let those wicks soak in a little bit. I probably need to put a little bit more e-liquid on there, but let me get this screwed in real quick. There we go. Alright, let me put a couple more drops. I saw a dry spot. Put a little bit more. Okay. That looks about good. Now, one thing about this Nimbus also, it does have a pretty good drip well for the liquid to sit in, so that's nice. It's good and deep. It's not too shallow, not too deep. It's just about right. You know, when you get some that are real deep, it's hard to get in there and work with your coils, and if they're too shallow, well, of course you leak liquid out. So I find that this is a pretty good middle ground, and like I said, I'm really impressed with the build quality of this. Let's give it a fire and see what it does. There it goes. Alright, put a little more liquid on it. There she goes. Alright, let me put my cap on and take a toot, and I will give you an idea of what the flavor. These RDAs are supposed to give you the best vapor and the best amount of vapor. You know, flavor wise and vapor production on an RDA is supposed to be the best. And like I said, this is my first RDA, but you know, those people that you see that are chasing clouds and they're just producing tons of vapor. I mean, this is what they're using as RDAs, and you know, they'll, instead of having 2 coils, they'll have 4, 6, you know, even 8 coils built into one of these. And this looks like it has enough room to do that, because you have quite a bit of vertical room inside this. So let me take my first toot and tell you what I think. Oh, wow. Tasty. Lots of vapor production. Nice throat hit. Wow. That's pretty good. It's a little tight. I honestly believe that if that I'm getting really good flavor right now. I think the vapor and it's producing good vapor right now, but I honestly believe that if I opened up that air hole right here, or at least I think what I'm going to try and do is I believe that's a 1mm, so I'm gonna put it on the drill press, put a 1mm, and go straight through out through the other side, and that would give me a total of 2mm. And I'm just gonna I'm gonna see. I think the vapor production will be greatly increased, you know, and that's something that you know, you're gonna have to decide for yourself. I'm sort of weird because my airflow changes depending on what flavor I'm vaping, if that makes sense. So for this coffee espresso flavor, cappuccino, whatever that I'm vaping right now, I'll probably have to get the holes drilled to where they work for me on this particular flavor. Now I've noticed on eBay that you can buy just this part right here, which is the cover. So that might be something that I do down the road, is you know, have a handful of them and then drill different size holes in each, to where I can change my airflow depending on what I'm trying to do. And you know, if I'm chasing clouds, then I can really go with a big hole on either side and set it up like that. But you know, I guess I'm a lightweight because you know, I cough quite a bit if I get too big of a hit when I do a lung inhale, and I mean that's from you know, years of smoking, and I'm really thankful for vaping because it does get you off the cigarettes. I mean, if you don't think so, you need to really give it a shot and try it out. But yeah, I'm happy with this, man. It's got good flavor. Really good flavor, and really decent vapor production. I think the vapor production would be double what it is right now if it had a little bit more airflow. So that's about it. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope it helped you out a bit.